Hey, and welcome to more Post to Post. We're back for another trivia video. This time we're doing U.S. State Trivia Part 3. We've done 2 previously on U.S. states, and they were very popular. People really like them. Not surprising, the majority of our viewers are from the United States, so they like to play along, and playing along is part of the reason we make these videos.
God bless America right here.
It's fun for you guys to play along, and let us know down in the comments how you do. If you haven't seen those 2 previous videos, please go check those out. We also have geography trivia, whatever. European trivia, Canadian trivia.
Kind of generalized and some history stuff.
Generalized trivia, Australian trivia.
Yes.
All kinds
that
of
wasn't good.
Trivia. If you like trivia, there's videos for you if you haven't seen them.
I think on the Australian trivia, I got them all wrong.
I think you did.
I believe I did.
Every one of them.
Yeah. So the goat wasn't too goaty that day.
No, I have 10 questions here for you. This is a little bit different. Some questions have 3 hints within the question.
Okay.
So not really hints, just if you think hard, if you think real hard, one of the 3 and maybe one of 2 can kind of go together to kind of give you the answer. So
wow, this is interesting.
But they're not all like that.
If you smell smoke, I'm thinking a little too hard.
So the first question is actually probably the most difficult.
Great.
For the average person, for you, maybe not. Now, name some popular rivers in the United States.
United States, you got the Mississippi.
You do. What's the other big one?
You got the Ohio, you got the Missouri.
There you go.
You got the Potomac, you got the Hudson, you got the Connecticut.
I think there's like Columbia or something like that too.
Columbia River out west going through Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
This one's about the Missouri River.
Colorado. The Missouri River.
This is the Missouri River, yes.
Okay.
What do you know about the Missouri River?
Well, the Missouri River branches off of the Mississippi, or branches into it, I guess, and it goes west. In fact, there is a little branch of the Missouri River called the Milk River, which goes up into southern Alberta, Canada.
Yes. I actually did know that. I don't know
Did
why.
you?
I didn't know why. Probably because I was looking at a map for this question.
Well, there you go.
There's your hints. So the question is, what states does the Missouri River run through?
Oh, my God.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think.
Great.
So.
And here's the funny part. All of Missouri that I'm aware of is east of the Mississippi. So I actually don't think the Missouri River runs through Missouri. But I'm not sure. I'm going to say Missouri's not one of them.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
Based on the map, I think you're wrong. I think it does go through Missouri.
Okay. So now we're north of...
It straddled state lines, and to me it looked like it was in one state, so I don't know if this is officially the states, but
okay.
Based on the map, and the map that I looked at...
Okay, that's
which
fine.
Is Google Maps.
You're the Google Maps. You can't beat the Google. So okay, well maybe Missouri would be one then, because the Missouri. Sorry, I got that mixed up. East St. Louis is in Illinois, and St. Louis is in Missouri.
Right. And
all of Illinois is east of pretty well all of Illinois is east of the Mississippi, and Missouri is west. So I roll back. Just be nice if you could edit that out, but why would you? Because I actually said it. So let's say Missouri.
Okay, yeah.
I will also say Iowa.
That's correct, yep.
I will also say Kansas.
That is correct.
I will also say Wyoming.
That is incorrect.
Oh, then I will say Montana.
You are correct. 3 to go.
South Dakota.
Correct.
North Dakota?
Correct.
One more.
One more.
Idaho.
Incorrect. Nebraska.
What is it about Nebraska? I feel so bad.
It doesn't exist.
It does. I know it exists because the plane that I used to fly came from Offutt Air Force Base near Omaha.
That's what the paper said.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Nebraska?
I haven't,
There you go.
Oh.
All right. Question.
I did okay, though.
You did good. Question number... For Canadian, you did pretty good.
Yeah, for Canadian, yeah.
Question number 2.
Okay.
The world's largest building is located in which state? Now, I know you're probably thinking Florida, The VAB.
That's the
vehicle-
tallest,
the
or
vehicle
the
assembly
most
building.
the most space
The
inside.
girthiest.
The girthiest. I think
But it's not that.
it's Virginia.
Okay. For what reason?
Because that's where the Pentagon is. And I think the Pentagon is maybe the largest building.
I like your thought process. You are
But
incorrect.
I'm incorrect.
It's actually Washington State.
Oh, the Boeing hangar or some Boeing.
It is the Boeing Final Assembly Building. But yeah, at least you knew it was.
You got me.
I told you the state and knew what it was, so that's good.
Yeah, I love that one.
Okay, here's one of those 3 type questions.
Great.
This state's official fish is the largemouth bass. Population in 1770 was 40,000 and has the world's largest infantry training center currently. The world's largest infantry training center.
In 1770 was 40,000.
40,000 in 1770.
I know that Canadian troops train together with American troops frequently. And American troops come up to base Gagetown outside of Fredericton, the National Guard.
Mm.
They come up and train with Canadian troops at Gagetown because Gagetown base is the largest base by area in the British Commonwealth.
Yep.
Not just Canada, but the British Commonwealth.
It's huge.
And I believe that when Canadians go down to the States to train, as many of them did for the workups for Afghanistan deployments, they went to California and they went to Texas.
So that you
It might have been other places.
Are you between those two?
Maybe?
If you're looking for a hint, I'm not going to give you one.
Okay. I'm going to say Texas.
You were incorrect. It's on the eastern seaboard.
What?
Yeah.
The largest base by area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, in 1770, the population was 40,000.
$1770. That's modern. Like that's
Is it?
Well, fairly. I mean, 1776 is when the revolution started. 13 colonies, each of them had decent populations, I would think. Eastern seaboard. We're talking it has coastline on the Atlantic?
Yes.
This is difficult.
When did the British come to America? 1495 or something stupid like that?
No.
When was it?
Christopher Columbus sailed into the Caribbean. He wasn't British.
That lad.
Okay, he was Italian, I think.
Same thing.
1492.
Close enough. What did I say? 1495? Whatever.
John Cabot, who Giovanni Cabotti was, he was basically sailing for England.
Mm-hmm.
He sailed down the eastern seaboard in like 1497. Cartier came here in 1513.
Okay, so we're talking basically 250 years
After that,
after the first person.
the first European person.
Yeah, so 40,000 people in this state. How long would it take for all those people to come over, plus boom boom and repopulation?
Boom boom.
Boom boom.
That's probably mostly the boom boom because
Most of the boom boom.
yeah, 200 years of boom boom.
200 years.
What else are you gonna do?
Oh,
You can't watch TV.
Can't. 1770.
You got to do the boom boom. Well, it's got to be south. The farther south you go, the more sparsely populated you're looking at. So, I'm going to say North Carolina.
That's a really good guess. It's not the right one though. It's Georgia.
Really?
Yep.
Is that Camp Pendleton?
I don't know.
that's not. That's out west.
But yeah. Anyways, the first
Georgia.
largemouth bass is the official.
And that's a clue that I forgot about, but it's going to be probably in the southern states because bass is really big. The bass boat, the whole bass culture is big down there. They've got bass up here now, and it's actually not good because the bass are competing and defeating native fish from this area.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
making habitat very hard. So the bass are kicking bass. If you know what I mean.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
All right, here's an interesting one actually. This state is the dairy capital of America.
I want to say Wisconsin.
I can give you another hint if you'd like. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
This state also had America's first hydroelectric plant.
Hydroelectricity.
Yep.
Well, electricity itself, we're talking Edison, we're talking late 1800s.
Yeah, I didn't write down the year, but I think it was 1893.
Yeah, that's about right. Wisconsin.
You were pretty confident with the first
I was
part,
really
and
confident
then-
because Wisconsin is all about cows, cheese heads, the whole industry. Wisconsin is huge for dairy. The dairy industry is massive there.
Mhm.
So how did you word that first clue again? It's the
this state is the dairy capital of America.
dairy capital of America. Lots of cows. I'm just going to go off book here. I'm going to say there's a lot of farming in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to say Pennsylvania.
Do you remember the Christmas tree question we had? What states produce the most Christmas trees?
Yes.
And they weren't really the typical states that you
No,
would think of.
Michigan
first
was
time.
one of them, which I thought was odd.
The dairy capital of America is Wisconsin. You should have gone. This is one the opposite of the question where you should have gone with your gut.
That's not fair. If I guess it right, then you shouldn't be allowed to give me a distracting clue that takes me away from my right answer.
But that's fun.
It's fun, but it's not fair.
But you learned something. Look, now you
Did
know,
I ever?
Now you know that they had the first hydroelectric plant.
That's a surprise.
There you go.
Dang.
Okay.
You're cruel.
I think you might get this one actually.
Well, I got the last one too, apparently, but then I got distracted. A shiny object distracted me away from Wisconsin. Dang.
This state's blueberry crop is the largest in the nation.
Blueberries are pretty geographically specific.
They are very geographically specific.
And they're very big in the Canadian province of New Brunswick.
You are correct.
And there's only one U.S. state that borders the Canadian province of New Brunswick.
That's correct.
That would be the great state of Maine, the Pine Tree State, vacation
It is the
land.
pine tree state. I learned that today as well.
Yes. I'm going to say Maine.
You are correct. The answer is Maine. What was the
Booyah.
first? I don't know if it was the first town or the first capital of Maine. Do you know what it's called?
The first town?
I think it was the first town of Maine.
First town in Maine?
I feel like it was capital. I can't remember. I was doing research.
Well, there was... Augusta's the capital now,
Yeah, but
but
it's not.
when Cartier came and visited St. Croix Island, he established it there. St. Croix Island's actually right on the border between Canada and the United States. Both countries point to it as the first settlement in the area, but I don't know.
York, I think it was.
York, okay. That's down south of Portland, right along the coast just north of New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one's a little tricky. Question number 6. There are more than 300,000 pounds of grapes grown in this state annually.
More than 300,000 pounds of grapes. That actually doesn't sound like a lot.
Really? That's a lot. Like
300,000 pounds?
300,000 pounds.
Well, it's a lot, but if you got a big state
Yeah,
that's known for wine, like California,
No, but I mean,
300,000 pounds wouldn't be.
yeah, but grapes aren't heavy. They're
They're all full of water.
no, but they're
Like
not heavy.
300,000 pounds of little water capsules. I can say California.
You're correct.
Okay.
That was the easiest question in there.
Great. I feel so good about myself.
All right.
All
Here's a
right.
geography question for you.
Okay.
Which state's capital is further south? Is it Florida's capital, or is it Hawaii's capital?
Oh, Hawaii's capital. Hawaii is way south of everything.
You think so?
I do.
You're right. The entire
You
state
can't
of
fool
Hawaii,
me on that one.
The entire state of Hawaii is south.
So far south.
Yeah.
Like it's down south of Mexico City even.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to stump you here.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
You think so, eh?
This is another 3-part one, I think.
Oh.
This state has the largest, maybe it's the tallest. This state has the tallest water tower in the world.
Water tower.
It produces more chemicals than any other state.
What water tower? What's a water tower?
What do you mean with a water tower?
Oh, you mean one that has
The legs.
drinking water.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this state has the tallest water tower in the world.
Hmm.
It produces more chemicals than any other state. I'm not talking about chemicals when you make something and there's smoke, whatever. It makes chemicals like in barrels to give people for them to make stuff.
Okay.
And tourism is the second largest industry in this state. So you've got the world's largest, or the world's tallest water tower, produces the most chemicals, and tourism is the second largest industry.
That's three very interesting facts.
It is. It's very interesting.
But they almost conflict with each other. Like just the water tower question, I'd say, okay, it's a state that doesn't have a lot of geographic water, so it's a flat state. So a tall water tower would enable lots of water pressure in the town that it serves. So the taller the water tower, the greater the pressure. So that's would say it's a flat state. But then the most chemicals, that's going to be an industrial state.
Yeah.
A lot of smokestacks, a lot of,
Yeah.
I'm thinking DuPont, Dow Chemical, that kind of stuff. Lots of stinky solvents and stuff like that. Now, a lot of chemicals would be involved in manufacturing the auto industry and the electronics industry, sorry. So I'm thinking Michigan, maybe Pennsylvania because of the chemicals involved with the steel industry, a lot of solvents and astringents and God knows what. So, and what's the other one? The tourism thing.
Yeah. The state's
Second highest.
tourism is the second largest industry in the state.
And if it's Michigan, the largest industry is obviously auto manufacturing. Would tourism be number 2? If it's Pennsylvania, it could be Heinz ketchup, or it could be Hershey's chocolate,
Yeah, chocolate.
which I love, by the way. Mr. Goodbar is made in heaven, and heaven is Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Never had it.
Oh my God, Mr. Goodbar is the bomb. You've really got me confused. I'm going to say Pennsylvania.
Okay. You're not too far off.
Okay.
It's New Jersey.
Is it?
Yeah.
That stands to reason.
Because I think in Atlantic City, tourism is pretty
It's everything.
popular.
It's everything.
So-
And other parts of New Jersey, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, interesting question, though, right?
Mhm.
I tried to find the most weirdly interesting facts about New Jersey.
You've done a
As a
great
kid.
job. You got me. It's
Um,
very good. I learned a lot.
That really could have been any state with some of those facts.
Yeah.
It was really hard. Okay, second last question. Question number 9. In the War of 1812, right up your alley,
Oh,
more than half of all Americans killed in action were from this state. More than half of all Americans killed in that war.
a lot of the American casualties came in skirmishes along the Great Lakes. There was lots of ships on Lake Ontario from places like Jamestown, Sackett's Harbor, places like that. So that would be mostly New York. New York also was a very large state and would have, West Point would have been going at that time as a training academy, I think, for the U.S. Army. They would be based there. So I'm going to say New York.
Okay. I enjoyed your reasoning. You are incorrect, though.
Oh, of course.
Further south, I'll give
Really?
you one more guess.
One more guess, it has to be Virginia.
It is incorrect.
Of course it is.
It's actually Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but Kentucky.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
It is.
Heck yeah.
It's freaking amazing. It's an interesting factoid.
It is.
I wonder why. Now I need to know why. What is it about Kentucky? Well,
Do you think it was like the aid? Like if someone was injured in action, they came back to get healed, and they died due to injuries. So I guess the question was what state did they die in? It was where were they from?
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Like I would think very little of the War of 1812 skirmishes would have happened in Kentucky. A little bit maybe along
A lot of soldiers came from there, I guess.
along the Ohio River, maybe, because there was an area of dispute there, but most of it was Lake Ontario and the battles going in and out of like Quebec, Lake Champlain, New York. Very good.
The final question is much like question 8. 3 hints.
Okay.
You get to decide what state. This state was the first to require license plates on vehicles.
Okay.
This state has over 70,000 miles of rivers and streams. This state had America's first chess tournament in 1843.
Three very closely connected facts.
But the last one is interesting because it gives you a year, and it probably tells you that it's not one of the western states.
Yes, indeed.
So that's what that hint was for. That's what that piece was for. So this state was the first to require license plates on vehicles and has over 70,000 miles of rivers and streams.
70,000 miles. I don't really know if that's a big or small number. If you count everything that's wider than that, if it's river or stream,
Yeah.
you know, almost any place could have tens of thousands of miles of that. Now, the license plate thing, cars first were made in any amount in Detroit. So Detroit had really the first major street for the cars to promenade up and down the street, because that was a way to sell the culture of cars to Americans at large.
That's why it's called Motor City.
Yep. So the place where the cars came from might be the place where the first license plate came from, just to try to keep things under control.
Okay.
But then you've got other places like New York and places like that that obviously are just absolutely crammed with vehicles and have been for a long, long time. And New York had really tremendous infrastructure built for highways. Let me think. I don't think... See, the 70,000 miles of rivers and streams doesn't take Michigan out of the running. It probably does include places like New York, but even like a state like Maine would have lots of rivers and streams.
Probably rule out Rhode Island.
Probably could rule out Rhode Island, and likely could rule out Florida.
Yes.
Now, the first chess tournament, that's just a total distractor right there. I mean, who would know that's... And does the state actually promote that in its literature?
Yes.
Come to Missouri.
It's one of the top 50 facts about the state.
Oh, dear. I'm going to say Michigan, and that's my final answer.
Your final answer is incorrect. It's actually New York. But you almost said it.
I almost did.
You almost did it.
I almost did.
You're there.
And there was really very little to distinguish between the two when it came to, New York makes more sense for the chess tournament in 1843, because Michigan wasn't really that big, back then.
And it
And
makes
a little
sense.
harder to get to.
Makes sense for the cars too. There's a lot of wealthy people live there.
Yep.
More cars, like you said at the beginning of your reasoning.
Yeah.
So
That was fun.
yeah.
I enjoyed that. I would gladly do more like that.
Well, you're in luck because we are going to do more.
Great.
Thank you guys very much for following along, playing along. Let us know how you did down in the comments. You guys love these trivia videos. You're always requesting them, so we're
Really
very
fun.
happy to make them.
Yeah.
Maybe you can quiz me sometime.
I would love to.
I'm a little
I can
scared.
quiz you right
I'm
now.
a little scared to say that. All right.
I'll give you a couple right now.
All right.
Ba-da. Well, just give me a second.
I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm on stage.
What state is the home to famous astronaut and the later U.S. Senator John Glenn?
John Glenn. Interesting. Pretty sure it's not Florida.
Correct.
Pretty sure it's not Texas.
Correct. Now, if you knew a little bit about politics in the 80s and 90s, you'd know that he was the U.S. Senator from...
For some reason I want to say Maryland.
No.
Okay.
But you're... Okay. It's Ohio.
Oh, I never would have gotten that.
What state has the nickname, or the motto, the Show Me State?
I read that recently somewhere.
The Show Me State. In other words, don't just tell me, Show me. We're not going to just take you at your word. We want you to demonstrate your facts. And a U.S. president was from that state, and he was very, very much known for being a plain-spoken, show-me kind of guy. And he had a motto on his desk that said, "The buck stops here." In other words, he's not passing blame on anyone else.
Oh.
The buck stops on his desk.
I know it's not New Hampshire,
Correct.
because there's a live free and die hard or whatever.
It's live free or die.
Whatever. Man, I'm not good with these. I don't know my slogans. Do we have slogans here in Canada for provinces?
Some do. New Brunswick, for instance, for a long time was known as the Picture Province.
Oh, I thought it was No Funswick.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
PEI is
Canada's
bad
island
drivers.
garden.
Show me state is going to be
Show me, I'm from...
Connecticut.
Wrong.
I have no idea.
It's Missouri. One more.
All right.
What is the volunteer state?
The volunteer state?
Yeah. In fact, one of the football teams that plays college football from that state is called the Volunteers.
South Dakota.
Incorrect. It's Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't know my U.S. history
No,
and
and
stats
that's-
like you do.
Trying to give you a little bit of your own medicine.
Yeah.
Is there a topic you would like that you feel a little more comfortable with? Because that really wasn't fair of me.
Space?
Space. Excellent. NASA's about to launch a probe. I know you like that word. And it'll be the first probe to do something that's never been done before. And what is that probe going to do?
Isn't that the Europa probe?
Nope.
That's gonna
Not the one I'm thinking of.
land on Europa and drill?
That might be happening, but
What's happening?
The probe that's about to be launched is going, shall I say, in the other direction from Europa.
Oh, it's going into the sun?
It is. It's not going to just crash into the sun, though. It's going to grab a piece of it, supposedly.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Yeah. But yeah, you do like space, don't you?
Yeah.
What meteor shower is peaking tonight? And we have clear skies as we're taping this, by the way.
I don't think it's the Perseid meteor shower.
That's too bad that you don't think it is.
I thought that was late August.
No.
I thought it was like August 20th. I guess it is almost like... Is today the 10th?
You got it.
If I hadn't known that, I would have stayed with my original answer. I thought it was like August 2nd. Maybe.
But it's not the Perseoid. It doesn't rhyme with hemorrhoid. It's the Perseid.
Whatever.
The hemorrhoid shower.
All right, we'll do some more trivia in the future.
We will. And I'll actually do some fair and predictable questions on a certain topic for you. That'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds good. Thanks
right.
for watching, guys. Appreciate it. If you have any suggestions down below, we're going to do other trivias and stuff too. I just wanted to do another U.S. state trivia because the majority of our viewers are from the United States. So I wanted to treat them a little bit as a thank you for your continued support. Probably going to hook you up with some Germany trivia soon. See how you do in that.
Boy. Okay.
So thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.